We'll have like 1 minute.
Yeah, you just got reminded of the page. So it, but once you try it will be okay.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and most especially our folks that from the Liberian community. Let me say welcome again to the second press briefing from the IEC at Awadi University. I have to be still the chairman of the Independent Election Commission, and I also have our head of legal affairs with me here in studio. We are going to be providing clear facts as relates to the electoral process because we've gone like 1 week within the electoral process and we haven't received a single application for our candidates. Sent some shockwaves into the community and reawakening our potential leaders to take advantage of the process. And also today we are going to be creating a platform where there will be question answering, and as you are following live, you can post in your questions via the WhatsApp or through the Zoom meeting. However means you can use to channel your questions, you can do that, and we are willing to provide clear details and answer every necessary question. We can provide every clarity on this entire electoral process. So once again, I want to say welcome, and I will therefore now turn to the chairman who will be going through the briefing of this meeting. So chairman, welcome.
Thank you very much, SG. Second press briefing of the IEC on Mosul. And today, ladies and gentlemen of the press, fellow commissioners, fellow countrymen here present, and those following us via other platforms, we greet you all in the name of peace, unity. We have come to remind, encourage, and inspire you all once more to engage in the electoral process that started since last week Saturday. The process of submission of application for those with ambition to serve in the first democratically elected leadership of Mosul. Unfortunately, our system has not received any alert that looks like an application. We have not given up as we believe we will have passionate and courageous candidates. We assume tied to the economic principle of scale of preference as we realize that our electoral process, now that exams are over, we have the conviction and optimism that the process is now going to be of paramount concern as it should be. The Commission again wants to reaffirm its commitment to a free, fair, transparent, peaceful, learning, and intensely attractive electoral process that will be void of all forms of prejudices, sentiments, and affiliations. We vow to be professional, reasonable, neutral, and balanced in terms of approach and accessibility to all. We call on everyone, particularly our women, to take advantage of this opportunity to grow personally and in leadership. Rest assured that the government to come will be a government that will preside over all of us, and it shall therefore be all of us more obligation to contribute positively to its success. No government is going to work in isolation. Whether you are in government or not, we all will collectively guard and respect the leadership. Let there be no room for fear and negative thoughts that anyone who wins will be taking a hot seat and shall be at the receiving end of harsh criticism. For as long as you are willing to listen to the genuine demand and concerns of the community and will make all efforts to mitigate the problems, we are sure that the reign shall be peaceful, orderly, and successful. We hope those words of ours carry weight and deep sense of appreciation and inspiration as we look forward to receiving countless mails of interest in the coming days. However, if in the coming days and we unfortunately do not receive any interested candidates, we will be left with no option but to accept that the community doesn't need a change of leadership, at least for now, that the community is not ready to contest in any democratic process for now, that the community is actually satisfied with how the current leadership has led us in the past months, and that they wish to maintain it in power, thereby leaving us with the power to officially endorse and legitimize the leadership by inaugurating her on the 24th of July. With that being said, permit me now to close up this briefing and call on our Commissioner for Legal Affairs to read and, if necessary, provide further explanation in the simplest possible way the rights of everyone to participate in the process. We hope that that will also help in awakening your desire for leadership in the Liberian community. Ladies and gentlemen of the press, fellow countrymen of Mama Liberia, we extend Happy Unification Day wishes to all of you. Thank you. So the Commissioner on Legal Affairs will read for you the rights that all of you hold to contest in this election. And if possible, he will give you a better interpretation of those rights. So you read them section by section and then explain further if necessary. So, Commissioner, you can take over.
Uh, Thank you very much, our able chairman, our able SG, and our hardworking commissioner who is here with us, Comrade Jeremiah. I salute all of you guys. And Chairman, to be honest, I want to tell you thank you for affording me the opportunity or the latitude to speak on the rights afforded to the candidates or parties or would-be parties that want to participate in this upcoming election. The elections that are pending are clubbed around 11 rights, which are divided into 11 sections that I will drive you through briefly. Section number 1 has to do with everyone who has the right to take part in the electoral process of Mosul and shall have equal opportunity for election. The criteria for participation in election shall be determined in accordance with the constitution by law of Mosul and shall not be contrary to the electoral guidelines. So section 1 talks specifically about all persons who wanted to contest or parties who want to register into this election. They are free to register provided that they meet the criteria set up that are provided in the bylaw and constitution of Mosul. This is mentioned in our guidelines that we posted in the group chat. You can visit the section that I refer you to, the Mosul Constitution for further information about that. So this section 1 is open to all persons who wanting to register as party or individual candidates. You are fully welcome to do such. Moving on to section 2 talks about everyone has the right to join together with others and establish a political party or stand as an independent candidate for the purpose of competing in the election. This section talks about we're accepting people of two types. If you want to as an independent candidate, you are highly welcome, or if you want to form a political party to register under one emblem, we are also accepting such application. So section 2 give you the full right to go as individual candidate or independent candidate or to go as party. Section 3 is further divided into 4, which I will drive you through quickly. It talks about every individual or together with others has the following rights. One of the rights is to express a political opinion without interference. When talk about expressing political opinion without interference, it simply means freedom of speech. At all times and at all places, you are to express your thought freely, regardless of the party you're from or whichever religious background you are from. You are to express your opinion without interference from any other party or candidate. And the B2A talks about to seek, to receive and impart information and to make an informed choice. So it is up to you. You are to receive choice. The right is yours to receive information and to make information of your choice. So whatever choice you want to make or whatever information you want to receive, it is your right. The commissioners are there to provide this right for you. And then the third one talks about to move freely within the perimeter of the Mawadi campus, except in restricted or prohibited areas to campaign for election. Remember, we are in a school environment, and there are areas that are specified in our guidelines and in our guidelines that we provided that certain areas are highly restricted for parties or candidates to do their campaigning affairs. Other than these areas, you are free to assemble anywhere that won't cause distraction from other students. So you also have that right given you. And lastly, section 3, the right or the full section to section 3 talks about to campaign on an equal basis. You don't need to be afraid as to whether the is contesting. You all have the right or the latitude to campaign equally. Disregard whether he is the position of the person currently. You all are afforded the right equally. No one is taking into consideration voting their friend. Moving on to section 4 or right number 4, it talks about every candidate for election, every party shall have an equal opportunity of views. The commissioners are genuine and they are always available to accept every party, be it party or independent candidate. The commissioners are at your disposal. Whatever political view you want to put forth, the commissioners are open to accepting your views and they will address it properly. Section 5. Rights are denied or restricted shall be entitled to appeal for a jurisdiction to the IEC or MOSU to review such decision and to correct errors promptly and effectively. The election commissioners are willing to accept appeals. Any party, any individual candidate who feel that the commissioners have one way gone against them, they are open to accepting appeals, and the criteria for the appeal, it is being communicated. You have to follow due process, go through what the commissioners tell you to do. You have to file in all of these processes. The independent election commissioners are there to address your issue with due respect and all necessary things. Section 6 talks about candidates, parties, voters in a campaign of party or supporter shall engage in violence. Remember, this is a school zone. Once again, we are actually appreciating or appealing for a violent-free election. Whenever you are campaigning, we ask that whether you're partisans or you're a candidate, you should do your campaign on a violence-free, don't engage into violence. When you feel offended by any party that is against you, also is IEC also there to look into your situation. Just bring the complaint of the party or the independent candidate that have violated that right of yours. For every candidate, party, supporter competing in this election shall respect the rights and freedom of others. All persons at all times are having their rights of freedom. So regardless of the party you are coming from or the individual you are at all times to respect the freedom of others. The election results within 24 hours. This right specifically talks about assuming today is the election day and if you feel cheated. After this 24 hours, if you don't bring clean, that means to say everyone is satisfied with the result that have been pronounced. So you have 24 hours. Section 10 talks about all candidates, parties will be issued a supporter staff, which shall be owned by 8 members during a particular gathering. Oh, this one is actually about during campaigning time to identify who will be troublemakers. So each party or each independent candidate will be issued a tag when you are campaigning to identify or on the contrary that is violating things. Trust me, the IEC will actually go according to what they say. So the tag is there to identify your partisans, to stay trouble-free at all times when you're having gathering, as the IEC will provide the tag that will be identified all over by your partisan or your would-be electorates. And the last section is section 11. It gives you the right that all candidates or parties has any specific complaint or problem regarding the conduct of the election, they may bring the same to the note of the commission via online complaint form that will be issued by the IEC. And blessingly, we have our able or computer men not accepting of physical complaint or written complaint. Through this one, we are providing a link for which you are going to channel your complaint through. Before then, the link will be provided, and you have to follow a procedure that the link says you should do. Having said that, I will stop this far and then turn over to our able chairperson to continue from where I stop.
All right, thank you very much, Commissioner for Legal Affairs, Commissioner Sylvester Labadini, for the rights that all of our members in the community are entitled to in engaging the process. So that being said, we move over to our SG. So I believe we will hear the briefing shortly and then provide updates of what we have read through in the chat. So SG, over to you.
Okay, Chairman. From the drop platforms, so far there is no view or there is no inquiry as relates to the process. Currently, there are only 5 persons online, and those individuals that are online right now are those that are currently here in the press room. So we have absolutely no view from the public. As for now, there's no view from the public.
All right, that's sad, but however, we are undeterred. We remain unshaken by that because we are doing our job. We are doing all we can to provide all of the basic necessary information using all the means that we have at our disposal. So we are doing what we think we can do to clear ourselves from any criticism or from any attack or any condemnation. So we appreciate the fact that people will be involved and actively participatory in this kind of process. But if people choose to stay away, people might have their own reason. We hope it's not the reason for staying away it shouldn't be based on hate or something or lack of interest in the process. Like we said in the briefing, we really appreciate if people appreciate this process as we are trying our best. We appreciate the process. So like I said, we will post the information again in a group chat so they can follow up on it so that people will not say tomorrow, oh, but we didn't know. That's why we've created so many platforms. You get the information in the group chat through the written communication, and you also have the commission to its able hard-working commission on technical affairs, Commissioner Jeremiah, have managed to create 2 extra platforms just to be able to disseminate the same information so that you not say, oh, I didn't see it in the, or the information was too long, so I couldn't read. So we provided all of those means that if you can read, you can listen, and you can follow up through the Zoom or follow us through our YouTube channel that was also created. So at any point in time, you can refer to the YouTube channel and then make a follow up on what was discussed in the briefing or what was talked about in the briefing. And after that, everyone is also free at any point in time. You don't the issue have to do with a concern and addressing question is not only limited to press briefing. So at any point in time, you see any of the commissioners, we are on top of our information, they are intact and they are undiluted, remain the same. So the same information will get you, be the same information, all of the commissioner will get you. So if you are at any point in time to ask any of the commissioners on any issue that you have, they will be able to adequately address your issue. So with that being said again, let's check in our inboxes to see whether we have any concern. If there's none, then there's no need for us to be on live now.
Okay, let me check. Let's see. In society again, I would say that we have absolutely no view from the public, and we are the only persons that are online for this live chat, and there's no one from the public that is following. Probably they might be following in spirit, but as per our electronic devices, we have absolutely no concern from the public so far.
Okay.
Yeah, it's no problem.
All right. So probably maybe we need it, and because sometimes when you need the presentation, people can be in out of question. So probably we have addressed on everything and the message going across. So with that being said, I think with no further time to waste, I think we should call the briefing to a close.
Yeah.
So,
Before we, Chairman, I first want to say thank you. You did well, extremely well. You laid down the various plights that need to be understood, and I will also say thank you to our hardworking chairperson on legal affairs. You made all of those rights understood. Probably some of our guys out there, they may not have understood those rights, they may not have those rights, but you explain them in details. So we are actually doing our best to make this entire process absolutely transparent, that there shall be no fault at the end of the day, that there shall be no pointing fingers. So I just like to use this medium under the umbrella of the IEC to once again send in an open communication to the public. You may have your own personal reason for not engaging in the process, but I want to say again, we all were in zeal at the start and saying that we need to go through our lead process. We don't need an acting leadership to be presiding over the student community at Mawadi University. We need a legal leadership that have to take place. And from that, we were established based on that act, and we have been performing actively to make sure that this come to fulfillment. But it's so saddening that the general public of the librarians here, the librarians within the librarian student community are not taking this process serious. So it's so saddening for us. But we hope that once again they're going to be your spiritual mindset and you guys will engage this process with just 1 week left for us to close this entire process that has to do with candidate registration. And to our females out there, I want to tell you that please don't be deterred by those old notions that men should always lead. You also have the potential, you can take advantage of this process. It's based on certain reasons that we may consider extending the process. But I don't think I will disclose that to you now. We remain fixed with our calendar, and we wish you all the best. To our prospective candidates who are in preparation, maybe some of you are working on cover, wish you all the best in this entire process. So I will stop there. If there's nothing else from you guys, then probably the chairman can just
no,
put this video to a halt.
not at all, not at all. So thank you very much to all of the commissioners, to all of the commissioners for having attending this second briefing. So we say once more, the Liberian community, this is the call to, to all of you to actively engage in the process again. And the first segment of the process that have to do with the application process, and next Saturday, 21 of May 2020. So please take note of the time and add accordingly. So thank you very much, our technical man, for setting up this platform again. I would say thank you and keep on doing what you got to do. You shouldn't feel deterred. we even this, as we said, we are all in the learning process. You will be surprised that everything you see us doing here, this is our first time. So we are learning, we are taking advantage of the process already for us, commissioner. We already started building ourselves, but we learn. So that's why we said this process is not just about letting videos, it's about building ourselves, and but we will do what we can to keep encouraging the people to form part of the process. Yeah. So thank you again to all of you guys. It was wonderful working with you guys today. Thank you. Yeah, yeah, and allow you.
Uh, Thank you ever so much, our able chairman. There's one caution I want to leave with everyone. Not all things require example, or you don't need everybody to start a process. The example you are looking for, that person might be you. So take the bold step. If you are the first person to do it, others will follow. Don't wait for somebody to set example. With that being said, thank you for listening and tell everybody thank you. Take advantage of the process. Thank you.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly.